It's black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh. 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 It's black and white.
Hello there, my name is Lee. Welcome back to another video and welcome to Timetable Reviews. So this is a show where I showcase titles from my collection, and welcome to this mini-series showcasing all the timetables that I got at the Wigglesworth bus running day in March 2025. So without further ado, let's go to the table and let's see what we've got today. So here's the table and here's the timetable. So this is the July 2011 Buckinghamshire County Council South Buckinghamshire Guide. So, as you can see, it's what it is. The South Buckinghamshire Guide was the guide made for the South Buckinghamshire area. So, obviously, in the previous episodes, we've showcased the Ellsworth Vale Guide, the Wickham District, and the Chiltern South Bucks area. Now, it's got better. We've now got South Buckinghamshire. They've merged Chiltern South Bucks. In 2011, they merged Chiltern South Bucks and the Wickham District Guide to become the South Buckinghamshire Guide. And they renamed the Ellsworth Guide to the North Buckinghamshire Guide. So, without further ado, as you can see, it's still the basic stuff. Nothing wrong there. As per the norm, I won't mention Slough services because, of course, we'll be here all day otherwise. Starting with Route 1, High Wycombe to Bourne End. This service operated every 30 minutes at the time, Monday to Saturday. Obviously, we won't mention Route 2 in Slough because, of course, it's a Slough service. Route 2A now. Now, Route 2A and Route 2C were services that operated in around High Wycombe. These were services that used to operate every hour each. As you can see, it was a circular service. So they used to go round, as you can see, started at Piddington, go round the villages of High Wycombe. The 2C was the opposite. 3 and 5 were school buses. Then we got line 4, the High Wycombe Cheshire Route 1 to 2 routes to Cheshire. The other being this. As you can see, the service itself was every 30 minutes by carousel. Of course, this year marks 25 years of carousel. So I have got a special episode of that coming soon. But there was a strange anomaly on a Sunday where it was an hourly service, wasn't near enough. But the last bus, the 1825, was not, firstly, it was not in the evidence. And it was also run by Red Line on Route 52, which went a different way. Then Route 27, the Cock Lane bus, obviously there used to be the 327 by A&A. Then Route 31, Green Route, obviously penned to Downley at the time by Arriva. Now Carousel, of course. The service itself ran every 15 minutes throughout the day. Then the 32, which was every 15 minutes from Booker to Bicklefield. Then the red route, Route 33, on the 12-minute service from Castlefield to Topbridge. Then the 35-36, which was every 30 minutes. Well, the both every hour. During the day, it was run by Carousel, but during the evening and on Sundays, it was run by Riva. Then the 37, hourly service to Maidenhead, 20-minute service to Bourne End. 38-39, Route 39 went via Suffield Road every hour, but on the other trip, it was a 38 to T-Square first, then it became a 39. Then the 43-40, 340s and 40s were hourly each. But they weren't coordinated because of the weirdness that the 340 was at that time. Sundays will still run by Riva at that time. I'll get to why in the next episode. And then the 45-48, which were hourly to Great Missenden, now the 41 service. However, on a Sunday, the 45 was run by Red Line. Then the 52, which was operated every hour up to Chesham and Hemel Hempstead, with the evening services being provided by Red Line. And a Sunday service as well, Old Farm, Amersham. Next up is Route 53, run by Thames Travel at the time to Binfield from Bracknell and Wrexham Park Hospital. I won't mention that normally, but I do like to. Obviously, I won't mention the 58, so Uxbridge from Britwell. Then the 62, North Church to High Wycombe. This will be the last time we'll see the 62, because the year later, this actually will get withdrawn. And will become a new route. We'll find out what that is in the next episode, so spoilers. 63, 68 now, these were originally run by Maggie Travel. Now, by then, Maggie Travel, I believe, had cut back so much that they didn't really run much. But the 63, 68 were 3 times a week. Well, they were twice a week on Tuesday to Friday, as you can see. Run by Red Line by now. Then the 71, 73, now run by Carousel, but back then it was run by Red Rose. Yay! Hourly service on that. 2 hourly each. So 71 went to Wybley Hill, 73 went to Lake Hill, and then 73 will go to Jarfont, and the 73 will go all the way to Coulshill. Then the 74. Now, we've had mentions of the 74 before, but as you can see, it was all Aviva by then because the first had changed their route, and I'll get to why in a minute. Carousel still ran the Sunday service though. Bear in mind as well, this will also be one of the last times that we'll see Carousel in a independent form, because a year later they will be bought out by the Go Ahead group, of course. I won't mention the 75 from Main Heathrow, because we'll be here all day otherwise. Then the 76 to Crestmont Rise, run by Red Line. Red Rose ran a couple of trips. Then the 77 Cartridge, also run by Red Line, but Red Rose ran a few. Great Hivings, Route 78, which was all run by Red Line. And the 79 was also to Paws Hill all the way, run by Red Line. Next up, the 104. Now, the 104 was interesting. It was twice a day, run by Red Rose. The other services in this timetable are run by Carousel, so they are early school buses, so don't really bother about that. But the 104 was twice a week, as you can see, 9:58 to 1400. It will take an hour to do it. And this went via a lot of the villages. Sadly, none of the villages nowadays, apart from, let me just check, Piddington, Wheeler End, I think, Stoke Church, have a regular bus service now. Rutledge and Ironstone only now get a school bus, Route 643, operated by Carousel. Then the 105, which was run by Red Rose as well. This went via Princess Risborough and places like that. So for the 106, which was also coordinated with the 321, now the T3 service, run by Tiger Line. But Tiger Line also ran the first trip of the day on the 106 as well. Then the 113, run by St Nest Transport, or back then St Nest International, when running to the exact same times as it does now, albeit not too great to Little Kimball. Then the 121 to 1320. Now the 320 was a peak hour service by Red Line. But the 120 was this interesting service. The 120 started in Tame and went all the way to Princess Risborough via Chinner. Then the 121 was a bus from Watlington. That's right, Watlington. And then obviously the returns as well. Then the 149194, again, this was run by 3 different operators. The first lot were Red Rose, Red Line as usual, but the school bus, yes, the school bus, wasn't run by either. It was run by Turners. This will be the last time we will see Turners, as a year later, Turners minibuses, as they were called, will cease trading. Then the 155, our first evidence of Red Eagle. Yes, with the Red Eagle running the 155, which will stay with them once the retender takes place, which I'll get to in another episode. And then the 158 Marlow High Wycombe service, which ran on every other day apart from Wednesday when the 155 operated, and the 160, which is the town runner. Then the 177 Red Line Red Rose route. Red Line ran a whole trip on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Then the 190 to Hyde Heath on a Tuesday and a Thursday. 275 next. Another one of these interesting routes. It was the Red Rose service at that time. Obviously, it will later become Red Carousel, and it's going back to Red Rose soon. Then the 300, where I mentioned that, it was a half-hourly service at that time. Wait, it would have been. No, every 20 minutes, sorry. Half-hourly on Saturdays, hourly on Sundays, with the evening service. Apart from on a Sunday when they went all the time to the eye clinic at Stonemallow Hospital, but I won't mention that because we'll be here all day otherwise. Then the 306 run by Reaver at the time to Topwich Drive. A year later, this will go to Red Eagle. 331 is another one of the service that operated by First London at the time. Believe at the Uxbridge Garage, because I think they had the Uxbridge Garage at the time, but obviously now run by Metroline. But yeah, as you can see, it was an every 20-minute service from Uxbridge to Ruislip via Denham, because obviously that's in Bucks. Run by First Bus at the time, now run by Metroline for TfL, of course. Then the 335 run by Redline. Originally, this was run by First. However, by then it had gone to another operator. We also got the 333, 334 there as well. Still run by Reaver, but Cape Coaches still operated the school buses, even though this will be the last time we will see that, because a year later it will be retendered again to another operator. We obviously know who that was. Then 336 hourly service to Watford from Wickham now. 353 all the way from Slough all the way to Amersham. Sadly, there's no such thing anymore, unfortunately. They've got rid of it now. Well, somewhat. It still does exist, but it is about to get cut, unfortunately, because Carousel, who run it at the moment, are cutting the service. And then we got the 377-577. Now, 377 was run by Ness at the time, not Maggie. Maggie Travel had really gone downhill by then. But Carousel still ran the 577. Then the 580. Now, this is the replacement for a route that we've mentioned so many times. Route 305. The infamous Route 305 has finally gone. This was a 2-hourly service, near enough, to Uxbridge from Beaconsfield with once a day to High Wycombe, because obviously that's where they're based. Then they also had a bus from Beaconsfield to Uxbridge again, this time from Uxbridge via Denham. And then the 582, which was the once a day bus to Windsor on a Saturday. And then the 583, actually to Uxbridge, which of course doesn't exist anymore. Redline got rid of this a while ago and went to Carousel, but now it doesn't go to Uxbridge at all. Then the 724 Green Line service, which we won't mention because we'll be here all day otherwise, but it was I think it was an hourly service back then. Then the National Express 737, which ran a couple of times a day, run by National Express. And then the 740 A40, which was run by Carousel, of course the original Carousel route, launched in 2003. The 740 went via the old Newtown, while the A40 was the direct one from the old town in Beaconsfield. With the 740 only going as far as Uxbridge, with the A40 going all the way to Heathrow Airport at the time. And the 800, 850, which again I won't mention because we'll be all day, otherwise it was, I think they were every 20 minutes each. Yeah, there were 800s were there were 2 shorts, an hour to Marlow, and every half an hour to Reading. Then the A30. Now, this was a service that was launched by Carousel from Chesham to Heathrow Airport, operating an hourly service throughout the day. Unfortunately, it wouldn't last long, unfortunately. Then the Park and Ride service, now renumbered the PR one. every 15 minutes on that. Then the R21 existed still. As you can see, twice a day, run by Red Rose by now. And then the Tiger line, which unfortunately had been cut back to Wyberley Hill by then, on its 2-hourly service. Then the T2, which was the peak hours service via Burco. And then we got the new route we haven't mentioned before, the Risborough Heavy Commuter Bus, which in fact, I was on today, actually, as I record this. But yeah, it shows all 5 routes that Alpine existed at the time: the Ronks, Risborough, Trees and Fields, Longwit, Town Runners, and then the 2 market services, which, because at the time, Spain ran on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, whilst Bedlow ran on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Nowadays, Spain runs on a Tuesday, Wednesdays and Fridays are Bedlow, and then Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays are Kimball's. And then here's the evidence of the X74 now run by First, direct by the M40 to compete with Arriva because they weren't caring. And then we've got the map of the public transport map, which they introduced at this time. And then maps of Amersham, Chesham, Marlow, Beaconsfield, and High Wycombe. And then Flagler Heath and Bourne, which I don't know why they did that one. And a map of the rail network and the back, as you can see. But yeah, that was the July 2011, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this episode of Timetable Reviews. There's only 2 more episodes left in this series. I know, it's surprising. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.